Okay, I have no idea if there's anybody here. I am trying to find if there's anybody here. Oh, there we go, but I gotta find it and turn down the volume. To find so that I don't hear myself. Hopefully everybody is here. I'm gonna find the video everywhere. If there is anybody watching, say hello. Wait a few minutes and see if anyone is here. Okay, I think I'm the only one here. Oh well, we will get started. And hopefully we get somebody tuning in before too long. So I guess we'll get started. As you can see here on the, I wonder if I can zoom in here just a little bit. There. On my desk here are the supplies. Here's the ornament. Except for this one, we're going to use this cute little snowman instead. But here is the ornament that we're going to make. There you can see it. Okay, so you're going to start with your tape roll. I'm using a 3/8 inch tape roll. You need the acetate and the black or whatever. Like, these are the circles that you need, but you need the largest to be the acetate because it has to go underneath your rim, your frame, like so. This one and goes like this. Okay, and then we have, oh, guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to cut the strips. So let me just, of course I did, because that is just how I roll. I always forget something, and I never do the same thing twice. So let's see what we can find for the right length of piece. Let's just see here. Still got nobody. I think this is the right width, but I'm gonna have to use my trimmer. So that I can get it cut, because I can't get in there with my, the only problem is this could be slightly crooked. Just hold your tongue right, people. Don't breathe. There's one. And then just do the measure. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll get the other. Find the 3/8 inch. This is going to be fun because I am taking off the tiniest little bit and trying to keep it straight. Okay, let's hold our tongues right again. Well, that's crooked, but we'll do what we can do. trim off a little bit here. There's more than, I could have done this with my craft knife. We're not going to need most of it. I'll put this piece on the inside. All right. I got no chat. This is my first time going live on YouTube, so I'm just hoping that it works. I went live last night on Facebook and it didn't work so good. So we'll set this aside because that one's messed up. We'll put it on the inside and I'll do some trimming. So I always sponge everything, sort of blends that edge together. So I'm just going to use the Coastal Cabana. And you don't have to do this. I just choose to do this because I like the look of the sponged edge. So what we're doing here tonight, if you're just tuning in, is we are making a Shaker Christmas ornament with the, this is called Let It Snow by Stampin' Up. And I just cut these cute little critters out of one of the sheets of paper. Actually, I cut them both out of there. There's a couple different ones. They're cute. This was one of my favorite packages of paper. I've got a few sheets of it left. But I've done a few different ornaments that I can come on and show you after. If you're watching, if there's somebody there, say hello so that I know you're there, because otherwise I don't know if anybody's there. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do, close that ink up because I'll stick my hand in it for sure. Okay, I'm gonna take a piece of tape, just a small piece. And I'm gonna kind of put it in the center of this little piece of paper, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch a hole with, it doesn't have to be this big one, but what I normally do for me, but I won't do it here because it makes a great big crunch, is I put this in there and I punch through the whole thing. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to punch through the center of this piece of paper, which will do the same thing. Just kind of get it in the middle. And then what we're going to do is you have, I tied this one because I wanted to make sure it was long enough because it was just a scrap. Take this, take your two ends. All you do is you put it together like use this one. I can't do it, but you just take it, put your ends together. You guys all know how to tie it, pull straight. Okay, so then you just stick this down, and this is your top, whatever you want your top to be. Okay, stick it down because you're at the top, unless you go through the whole piece of cardboard. Then you can actually have the knot. You can go up from the bottom. Okay, so then I'm just going to peel the tape. Hold your tongue just right. Stick down one end of ribbon. Stick down the other end of ribbon. Okay, and then for right now, this one is a little bit, my tape is a little wider than the ribbon, so I'm just folding it down. Okay, and then you can set that aside. Okay, now you got your whole tape roll thing. Peel the backing off of your tape. Okay, and I'm just gonna strategically, and I'm holding it just above the tape roll so that I can make sure that I am straight before I put it down. Now I'm putting it down. Okay, and then just go all the way around. I'm a little crooked, so just kind of pull it tight, go all the way around. Okay, just like so. Okay, same thing on the other side. Try and keep it as straight as you can. Okay, now you got that little bit hanging off. You can either cut it off, or I'm just going to stick it down with my wet glue. I sure hope we get somebody coming on tonight. Okay, then just stick it down with your wet glue. Just hold it there for a second. Okay, and now you have an idea to where the top is. Okay, so we'll set that aside. While you have your glue open, flip your border around so that, oh, I'm plugged. Okay, you can use dry double-sided tape or wet glue here. I'm choosing to use wet glue. We've got lots of, and then just stick your acetate right over top. It should fit perfectly. You cut it the same size. Okay, I gotta stick a little bit of glue in there. There, make sure you've got glue all the way around. Okay, now you can just set that aside. I want to sponge that, so I'll put the top on here. Might not need any ink. Yep, I do. Still nobody, hey? I guess I could turn it up and see if I have any sound, but then you guys would hear everything over top of me talking, if anybody does come on. Let's just check something here. Well, there are comments coming in. That was me. Okay, so then we'll just stick this circle. You want to try and get it as close to the center as you can. I'm just eyeballing, but it's just a background. Okay, like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this on here. So I am just going to run a bead of glue all the way. Actually, I'm just going to make sure that this isn't sticking out past, and if it is, I'm just going to kind of curl the paper around, but I think we're okay. And then that way there's nothing stopping it from sticking, because you don't want any shakies in here. They will come out. So even if it squishes, it's all good. You just don't want any spaces in there, because that will cause the shaker things to come out. Okay, so again, I'm just going to center it on there around that other circle, like so. Then I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to put a block that I have. Just going to set it over here. And I have a big block, and I'm just going to set it on top for some weight so that that can stick. And we are going to, I did a class here a couple weekends ago, and they were checking out my little go bag here, because in my go bag I have a fork, which I use for tying bows. So we are going to let everything dry, and I'm going to try and explain to you how to, sorry, I can't see with all these lights on. I'm going to explain to you how to tie a bow with a fork. There's also a tool like this, which was in my mother's stash, so you can tie this size of bow. Okay, this would be your center. You can tie this size of bow, which this is your center. You got all kinds of sizes of bows. But I didn't have that for a long time. I just used a fork. So this is how I tie a bow with a fork. You want to leave a little bit, because this is going to be your little leg here, or whatever you want to call that. Okay, so, and then you're going to hold that, and you're going to, whatever width, length ribbon you have, or baker's twine, whatever, you're going to wrap it around. I like two bows. Okay, so I may need to leave a little bit less here. Whoopsie, not that much less. Start again. A little bit more there. Okay, wrap it around twice. Okay, so then hold it on the left. Then you're going to go down in the center. This is again a scrap, so I'm going to fight with it. Up through the center. And now you've got this little loop here. You want to go over it and then through it. And that's going to tie, and this is where I'm going to fight. And that's what's going to tie your bow. You have to go over it in order for this to tie properly. Okay, so then you're just going to take this, and you're just going to go up and down, set that down, go up and down, and that's tightening. This is tightening your bow. Okay, like so. Okay, like that. Pull it off, and there you have your double bow. And then you can kind of put it wherever you like it, like so. And now for this one, I'm just going to turn on my heat gun quickly. Let that heat up. Okay, grab my ink again while everything is still drying. And I'm just going to sponge this one. This goes on the inside, which we'll put on next. Any questions this far? Anybody watching? What am I doing? I'm blabbing. I guess I should, I'll have to trim it. I'll check it here, because I forgot this one I cut crooked. So that is the inside. This I know is not, so we'll see here. See how bad I got. Oh, pretty good actually. That's not too bad at all. Actually, I can probably cut her off right about here. So I'm golden. So I'll just finish up sponging. These really are quick and easy. It's just really hard to explain how to put it together because instructions are instructions, and I don't like doing instructions anymore. Videos are much simpler. Okay, there you have it. Oh, we'll sponge him too. This is just going to be our little snowman to go on the outside for decoration. But these really are cute. So if you are watching and you're still watching, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think, what I need to change, what we should talk about, anything fun, what you're working on. Okay, so this is probably pretty much dry. It's definitely got hold, that's for sure. So now we'll just take and put a bead of glue all around the inside. Again, make sure you go all the way around so you get that piece to stick in there. Okay, so you want what's going to be on the inside that you're going to see to be on the inside. I'm just going to wrap it really short, and then I'm going to put it in there, and I'm going to butt it up to the top, and then I'm just going to slowly kind of work it around so that there's no bubbles in the, no, I cut it too short, so that you don't get any spaces in there and you get a good stick. But that's okay because our little dude is going to cover that. It's at the bottom, so that's okay. I will just make sure to wipe off the little bit of glue. It's going to dry anyway, so that's not a big deal. Okay. So now we just want to wait and give that a second to dry before we add our shakies. Oh, I had a glue bubble there that I squished out. Because if you put your shakies in there now, they're going to stick to your glue. So just give it a second and let your glue dry. But before I forget, I am going to put a snowflake in there because I've wanted to add one to every project I've done and I keep forgetting. So I just want to have one in there, just for a larger bit of something. And I have a ton of these. Okay, so no questions. So far it shows I only have 2 people watching. I'm popular. Okay. And for the gems that you see on the outside of the original ornament, here I am fighting again. I just used, you can see the gems are on the outside here. This is what I have, the Stampin' Up! Gems, basic rhinestones. And I colored them with light Bermuda Bay and light Cherry Cobbler. You can use real red as well. And I just colored them, and that's how you see the color on there. See, and it doesn't come off. Like it's, those markers are alcohol markers, so they're really good. Okay, so I think we're pretty close to dry here. Might be a little tacky, but that's not a big deal. Okay, so now I'm just going to start adding a few of the little shaker things. Anybody know what these are? Let me see if I can open it. Anybody know what these are? These are, oops, dropped one. The silica beads. I have a little spoon in here somewhere too. The silica beads that you get when you buy things, just about anything. Purses, I get them in just about everything. And I'm just trying to pick out the ones that aren't as yellow. But you can dye them with Stampin' Up! Inks. I've rolled them around in Stampin' Up! Color, and they dye whatever color you want. But I just add them to hopefully keep the static out of the inside. And now I had a few here, just kind of escaped from the last project, so I'm just going to throw them in there. So I'm just adding some fun here. Now this one, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's only half full, not even half full. It was full, but I dropped, I thought the lid was on it and the lid was not. So I dropped it and it all over. The rest of these beads are in my vacuum cleaner. So it was a waste, but you don't really need all that many, so that's okay. So then there's just, I'm going to add a few of these darker ones just for some darker. Huh. And then I've got a bunch of other sequins that I have. These I got from Michael's. But the rest, these aren't even all of the sequins. Most of them are at the other place, my mom's old house, my stepdad. Whoopsie. Because I didn't have room for everything here. So you can just add whatever. I'm just trying to break these up. They're all still kind of stuck together. Whatever color sequins that kind of go with your project. I have lots of different things going on here. Doesn't matter how full it is. Just add some color variation and size. I'm getting kind of full. Good thing we're almost done. Just going to add some more of these little micro beads. I think there's enough red in there, so we don't need the red ones. Okay, so they go there. Okay, so now we're going to take our circle that we glued our border. It's dry. So we're going to do the same thing. Take our wet glue. Put a bead all the way along, good size bead. Like I said, you want to have it go all the way around, no spaces. And again, here you could use double-sided tape if you like, but it's a pain in the derriere to go around in a circle. So I just use wet glue because it just takes a little extra time to dry. So there you go. Put the thing back in there. If I can get it in there. Okay, and then just stick your have a peek. Sorry if my head is in the way, but I just want to make sure that I've got that on there straight. So I'm just going to do that. Come down just a hair. Just like that. Okay, stick that down, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm just going to move it out of the way. I'll show you here. I just take this and I stick it down. You can see a little bit of that glue there, which is fine. It's going to dry clear. It's not a big deal. You won't see it. Okay, so now I'm just going to push that, and I'm going to set it off to the side and put that block back on it for a little bit here. And I'll show you how to color a few extra gems, just so that that has a little bit of stick. So there's really nothing to it. You just color. And you can put another coat on there and it'll kind of darken them up a little bit. Just don't go too much because you'll also take it off. And just put another coat on and darken them up a little bit. That's pretty much all I've used this marker for, so it's got a nasty, nasty end. Nasty tip, it looks terrible. But I'm not a big colorer, so then just wave it around. Okay. So just make sure that it's stuck, and that glue will have taken hold, so you're okay. Okay. So now I'm just going to take my little snowman here and sort of put him where I want him, which I think he'll just go nicely right in the middle. Just see. Yep. He just sticks nice in the middle. So we just need to put the glue along the bottom here and up the center. And you don't want to get it too close over there on the tails because that's not going to be stuck anywhere, and you don't want glue hanging out. So then you just stick him down, get him straight. Just give him a hold for a few seconds until that glue kind of holds on. Okay, like so. Now I'm just going to take my tweezers. I like to use them because it's too close to the hot glue. I'm going to flip it to the back side, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of glue with my hot glue on here. Okay, and then that's just going to go right on that bow, right above, or right, oh, that was terrible. Good thing it's hot glue and it stays hot for a second. You'll be able to take your stringies off in a minute. Okay, just like so. Like I said, you can take your stringies off. Okay, and then you can trim your ends. I like to give them that little angled cut. Okay, and then we can place our beads, or our gems, I mean. Okay, so you can use tweezers, you can use the piercing tool, you can use whatever you need to stick them down. And so I place them however you want to place them. I started with the green or blue, and I just kind of went a little bit of ways from the bow. Same thing on the other side. Oh, that one's going to fall right away. And just try and eyeball evenly spacing. Doesn't have to be perfect. They're homemade. Okay, so then go all the way down to the bottom. Okay, on either side. Okay, like so. Oops. Okay. And now you just evenly space however many. I'll have 2 on either side here. Okay, and then 2 on this side. So I'm just eyeballing to try and evenly space. Okay, and then you just take and you put the red ones in between those ones. Very fun project, very easy project, and it can be done if you go to if you're on a computer or cellular device. You can't do it on an iPad, but if you go to my community page or my community tab, I am going to be posting the other ornaments that I've done in the last couple of days. I've done 2 of each using the different die sets, I guess, the bundles, because I've been using Stampin' Up! So far. I did one with the Christmas, I can't even remember what it was called right now. I did a folio with it. It's the latest Simple Stories one. And there you have it. That's it. It's done. You have your ornament. And then you can put another piece of paper on the back here if you want to sign it, or you can put a year. You can die cut, you know, a year and put on the back if you're giving these to somebody. But there's your ornament. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you'll come back and watch another live. Thanks for popping in. Bye. Now I got to figure out how to stop it.